Hey, good evening. It's John again, play Immaculate Grid, going for that low rarity score. Trying to get a good rarity score without botching it. I think yesterday was number one draft picks. Let's see what, or not, first round draft picks, but still tough category. So let's see what today brings. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I did get the timed round though, so there was at least that, but not the rarity round. So let's see. This was the one I missed. I think I suggested Brett Saberhagen was a first round draft pick, and turns out he wasn't. Anyway, hit refresh, and away we go. All right, that's a Germany. No, wait, I don't want to go with him. David Justice. Save him for later. I almost did the thing again. Let's see. Denny Nagel works. That might be actually kind of rare. Let's grab Cone here. 2%, really? 9%. All right. Let's see. Travis Fryman. And then we'll have second base. So I'm going to go Vinny Castilla up here. And then let's go Robin Ventura down here. Grab, let's see here. Gardo Alfonso. Yep. Get Eric Young Sr. and Roberto Alomar. All right, snuck it in. 58 seconds. Ready score of 72. Only 3% for Ventura, only 2% for Aguero Alfonso. I mean, these are people I grew up watching. Eric Young, not so much. I just had baseball cards of him. I think he was with the Dodgers when I first started following the National League at any rate. Vinny Castilla, 17%. I'm gonna struggle with that one. It's basically Castilla, Arenado, a little bit of Garrett Atkins, whoever plays there now. Oh, I guess Chris Bryant also. Um, I got Fryman there at 6%. Frodo Almore at 19%. And once again, I'm just going to struggle with finding people who are really rare who've played positions. I can do it with the Brewers a little bit, but um, yeah, I don't do as well with other teams and just like obscure things like, oh, did you know that, Cap Anson played shortstop? No, not so, I do happen to know that, but um, because he played all over the place. Anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing and reshare. All right, hit refresh. It's taking its time, so I have to stall here. There we go. All right, now I'll use Germany Schaefer. That's my guy. All right. Um, let's see. This is a Rick Cerrone combo. 0.3, decent. And let's see, Yankees and Rockies. That's an interesting one. Ron Valone works for the Yankees. I'm trying to remember if he was one of the other teams was the Rockies. Dotel will work. So the Octavio Dotel option is very much on the table. Bichette played for the Red Sox and Reds and Brewers and Angels, but never the Yankees. Um, Ellis Burks is not going to work. Matt Holliday will work, but that's going to be a super high one. Same with Tulowitzki. Same with DJ LeMahieu. Um, Tulowitzki was only briefly a Yankee, but I mean, it's Troy Tulowitzki's Mr. Rocky, so you don't want to go that route either. Ooh, I got one. Oh, but he would also work here. Interesting. The crisis I'm having is that Charlie Hayes is the name that's coming to mind. He was on the original Rockies, the 93 Rockies, and caught the last out of the 1996 World Series with the New York Yankees. So he will work. But I also can't think of any other more rare people for third base for the Rockies. Um, Seems to me Nefi Perez mainly played shortstop, but could kind of play everywhere. Um, Not sure if I want to go that route though. Over here, what do we think of, just because I once watched him when he was playing the Brewers drop a pop up to extend a game. I'm gonna go with Clint Barmas. That took 4%. Okay. And then like third baseman for Cleveland, you get Al Rosen, 1953 AL MVP. Pretty safe pick there. Um, Matt Williams, 1997 season. Jim Thome before he moved to first base. Um, Brooke Jacoby was part of the that 87 team and actually played pretty well on that 87 team that lost 101 games after being forecasted by Sports Illustrated to win the division. I actually wrote about that in my book. Let's see. Second base, though, what do we think of? I mean, obviously Nap LaJoie works. LaJoie, I should say. Pronounce his name right. Um, I don't know if Joe Sewell or Lou Boudreau ever moved over there. They were mainly shortstops. Julio Franco was mainly a shortstop in Cleveland before moving to second base with Texas, but I think he might have started that transition a little earlier. He was not a very good defensive shortstop, if I'm recalling the numbers right. Um, Casey Blake played a long time over at third base. I don't think I want to go with him though. Lonnie Chisenhall, that's a good baseball name. Played like a year or two with Cleveland at third base. Yeah, let's see. Down here, I was surprised to see Ventura and Alfonso as low as they were. I'm obviously not going to play David Wright. I also don't really want to play Howard Johnson. Um, Carlos Baerga will work for second base for the Mets. So will Roberto Alomar. I think Jose Reyes will actually work for second base. Kaz Matsui, who I think played shortstop and then was moved, because I think Reyes started at second base and Matsui was at shortstop, and within like a year, the Mets figured out that they should flip it around. I think. Or do I go with Baerga? Or do I go with a Wally Backman? So many options. Let's see how Baerga does. Okay, 1%. And then I think that Jeff Kent was playing a little third base for the Mets. I think. And we've got these up here too. And I know Jeff Kent might be a safer pick here and still low. Or do we go with Ronnie Belliard, former Brewer? Let's go with Jeff Kent. Go sub one. Nice. All right. Have I come up with a better Yankee? I guess on some level it'll just be a question of what's the better overall percentage, because I think Hayes will be 1-ish% here. I think he'll be single digits here. So can I get someone else who would be single digits for one of these or lower? Um, and I've just been sort of dancing around some standard Rockies. I don't think Blanco was journeyman catcher, but I don't think he's going to work. Um, like Galarraga never plays for the Yankees. Plays for a number of teams, but not the Yankees. Um, yeah, let's take my licks here. 3%. Okay, he's a bit higher than I would have thought. Higher than Nagel. And now I have to come up with third baseman who's an Atkins, Arenado, or Bryant, or Castia. And over here, I need to come up with third baseman. Let's go Jacoby. Let's see. Let's see how memorable that 87 team is. 2%. All right. I have a feeling there's going to be some super low scores here, and I'll feel pretty silly about my 20 or whatever this ends up being, but that's all right. Ooh, Cirillo. Cirillo comes in between Castilla, and I think Castilla again. Castilla goes back to the Rockies. Maybe there's someone else in there. Um, Castilla again, then you get Atkins. And I'm sure there's someone between Atkins and Arenado. I'm just not remembering them. Well, he was one of my favorite players growing up, 2%. And let's see here, how to close. I could go with Edgardo Alfonso here. He started as a third baseman before moving over. Um, Howard Johnson doesn't seem like he's going to be super rare. Three-time 30-30 guy. Um, who else though? Who in the 70s and 60s was playing third base for the Mets? Or does Wally, maybe that's the risk I take. I might go because Backman was kind of a utility guy, right? Is my recollection of his baseball cards. Um, I think Kevin Mitchell actually might have played a little third base. Ray Knight is, of course, the third baseman for the 86 Mets. I think Kevin Mitchell did play a little third base. I just don't know if it was with the Mets. Let's give Backman a shot. Ah, he works. Went sub one. So 14, not a bad score, but I mean there's 322 options for the for Cleveland, and I went with Brooke Jacoby there. Um, Only 59 options for the Yankees and Rockies, so I don't feel too bad about getting 2 and 3%, but there were definitely better ones. All right. Well, thanks a lot for playing. And I will be back at it tomorrow. And once again, post your scores, read my book. It talks about the 87 Indians. Fun team. So anyway, well, not a fun team for Cleveland. They lost 101 games, but it was a pretty funny Sports Illustrated cover in retrospect. Anyway, thanks a lot and have a great rest of your night. Peace.